Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. And thank you all for joining us in this day five of Industry Connect brought to you by Industry Inspire Talks. So, in this day five, today is our last day of Industry Connect, and thank you so much who are to all of you who have been joining us for the past 4 days, and like it shows how passionate you are towards learning new things. So, to be honest, this session is not going to be of a technical, but it's going to be delivered by Vandana ma'am, who is the founder of Mind Art. So she also has a history of working in tech. So she was working with HSBC as a software engineer and with Infosys as a team lead and like further promoted to on-site lead analyst. And right now she is the founder of Mind Art. And apart from this, she's also a mindset coach, a mentor, a facilitator, a speaker, a cheerleader, and also she believes in motivating a lot of individuals in achieving what they want in life. So, to be honest, today's session is going to be more of an interactive. So, if you are facing some issues like that, you can maybe interact with Vandana ma'am in the live chat. So, without wasting further time, let's just start this day five. Like, I'll just pass it over to Vandana ma'am and let her introduce herself to all of you. So, hello, Vandana ma'am. Good evening. So not good evening. It's good night, I guess, in Australia. And yeah, so thank you for joining us late night.
No problem at all. Omkar, thank you so much for the warm welcome and the introduction. And thank you to Industry Inspire Talks for giving me the opportunity to interact with your wonderful audience today. As Omkar said, for our audience, thank you all of you for joining us, and not just today, and for all the previous sessions that have been conducting so far. What I love about people who participate and not just watching live, but also do the recording, watch the recording, is that they're invested in their own learning and growth. That they are really curious to find out more about what's going on in life and what's what matters to them. They're curious to learn more about it. So well done and good on you for being here. I'm in Sydney right now, so it's 6:30 p.m. here, Omkar. So it's not that late on this side of the world. It's still evening. So yeah, good afternoon to whoever else is joining from India and to anyone who's joining from other part of the world. So about me, well, currently I'm a mindset coach. Now one may ask, what does that mean, and what does a mindset coach do? So, well, I work with people, I work with individuals, groups, and organizations in developing a mindset of self leadership, in gaining emotional resilience, and in developing self awareness. So basically, out of my experience in the software industry, working across 3 continents, what I've realized is that a gift of mindset, having that healthy mindsets enables you to achieve more in life than anything else. It all starts with the mindset. And that's when I decided that I wanted to change the field and start doing something else. I really wanted to contribute more in the everyday life of people. My goal was, like, my big why was, how can I help make everyday life better? And the answer for me was, working with people on their mindset, because it's truly a gift. If you have the right mindset and the right approach to anything that you want to do in life, you can get to wherever you want to get to. So that's pretty much my job, and I love where I am at right now, and I love working with everyone that I've worked with so far and interacting with wonderful audience like you. My past life, in my past life, as I like to call it, I was software engineer. I'm a computer science engineer by my education, and I did that from Nagpur University. So not from a popular city, one of the two-tier cities, but we had a lot of engineering colleges, and I did my engineering from there. I got placed in the campus interview, got placed in HSBC, served HSBC for about 4 years, and then I moved to Bangalore. So I joined Infosys, and because of my background in financial sectors, I got to work with JP Morgan Chase, then Fidelity Investment, which took me to US. So I was in the US for 6 years, served there in Fidelity Investments. Then I moved to Harley Davidson. I was the systems analyst there. And then I took a break when my little one was born. He's 4 years old now. And then we moved to Australia last year, started working here for a little bit, again back to the software industry. But then I decided that I have to take a step, and I have to step out of my comfort zone and do something that really calls to me, which is what I'm doing now through my foundation, through my organization called Mind Art. So today's topic, I actually wanted to start. So please feel free to, let us know where you're joining us from. What are you excited about this session today? What would you like me to answer? Feel free to put on your, comments here, or just, I'm able to see the comments. So feel free to interact. Now, today's session that we are focusing on is basically mastering mindful living. Now, mindset is separate and mindful living is separate. There's difference. But what I really wanted to, let you know here is that how mindful living helped me arrive to what is it that called me, what is it that I was passionate about. What has been observed in the environment today is that a lot of people are facing a lot of restlessness, there's anxiety, there's people like to call it, I don't like to label it unless it's medically diagnosed, but there's a form of depression. People don't feel as energetic, and it's happening way early in life, especially with the millennials and the current generation. It's happening way early in life that they don't feel as fulfilled or as energetic in serving in their everyday life. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my journey and my experience of how actually living mindfully helped me come out and realize, like, get deeper into my, self awareness and understand really what is it that matters to me? What is it that I imagine myself doing for the rest of my life? So I always had this innate need, like, I really needed to know what is my passion. And for the longest time, I didn't know. Like, I was really happy about a lot of things. A lot of things would give me, create excitement for me. Like, I loved sports, I loved writing, I loved interacting with people, I loved public speaking. They were all, I think, really, they were important for me, and they could get me excited. But I didn't know if I could call myself passionate enough to pursue a career in any of those fields. So for me, it was always very interesting to find people, observe people who had a certain passion in life. Like, I'd always get very curious around them. Like, what is it that drives them? Because when you find people with passion, you can tell. Like, you can tell they really live what they're doing, and they really relate to. They have a bigger purpose in mind. They have a bigger mind, plan in mind. They're going somewhere with it, and you can tell that. So I always used to be very curious about it. And I felt that, why is it that I don't know? Why is it that I don't know what is it that I'd like to do? Because if I knew it, I would have left my job way earlier. Because I had got into engineering, as as most of us do. That is supposed to be the safe bet. You know that you'll always find a job if you pass with flying colors. Once you get in a job, then you can showcase your experience and you'll keep getting jobs. So there's a certain security attached to it, and that's the reason why most of people from humble backgrounds would decide to get into an engineering field. Like, usually there's engineering, or there's you either become a doctor or a lawyer. There's certain fields which are popular, or the most safer ones. But the era that we live in today, there's just plethora of options available for us right now, and we can really choose to do. And we're lucky to be living in an era now that we can create success in any walk of life if we decide to, if we apply ourselves to, if we're clear about what we want to do, we can create success in any of the fields. So now you'll be thinking what this session is about and what is in it for me. Well, what I want to let you all know is, through this session, what we're trying to achieve for you is to really understand that being mindful in your day-to-day life, how is it going to improve the quality of your life? How is it going to improve the quality of your thoughts? And how once you achieve that, is that going to improve the success in your life, the abundance in your life? Because ultimately what all of us do desire to be happy. The humans, the way we are born, what we really want for ourselves truly is joy. That's our most natural state, and we can only experience joy when we've got rid of all the thoughts that are holding us back, all the goals that we want to achieve, all the self talk that we do, all the thoughts that keep going on in our mind all the time. They stop us from feeling the joy as much. So what my intention from this session for you is to share the practices, and not in a way which is like really out of the box, like out of the world, which takes a lot of effort, but something which is so simple, something that can be practiced at any point of the time, which is so simple, which can be implemented. And I would like to share with you that some of my stories of how I could really see the results right away when I didn't even know that I was actually using those practices. But it reflects in your everyday life, and especially in your software career, because I understand that industry inspired talks, the audience that we have mostly is an engineering audience. So I'd like to share that how it shaped up my career and how it really brought in success in ways unexpected for me, just because I unknowingly was practicing mindful living at that point in time as well, which I am aware of now, but I wasn't aware of it back then. So let's get started. Let's dive right into it. And feel free again, I'd say that feel free to share your questions at any given point in time, and we'll definitely address them. So now, mindful living. Now, in simple terms, if I have to explain to you what mindful living is just becoming really aware, becoming like being present in the moment and becoming aware of what's going on inside of you. What are you thinking at that point in time? So becoming mindful is becoming aware. As simple as that. It's the simplest definition that I can give it to you. It's a synonym of becoming aware. Now, is it as easy? As easy as it sounds, it might take some practice. So usually what happens is, as you might be in this session also, while you're listening to me, there might be so many things that are going on your mind. It could be even for me, for example, I'm presenting it in front of you right now, I'm talking to you right now. It could be that I'm thinking that, oh, what am I supposed to make for dinner? Is my little one okay? What is he must be doing right now? For you who are watching, it might be that, oh, it's 1 o'clock already, I need to have my lunch. Or what is the plan for the evening, or what is the plan for Christmas? It could be so many different things. You might be thinking so many different things at the same time while you're attending this event. So what that does is, when you're lost in your thoughts, there's some minor cues, there's certain things that you miss while you're being in the moment. So what I have observed through experience is that when you're completely present, when you give your 100% attention to what is happening right now, there is more that you can grasp. There is so much more that you can grasp that is beyond your comprehension. You might later wonder and think that it was like magic. I don't know how it all worked out. But it only happens when you give your 100% attention. Now, giving 100% attention, again, I say it's easy to say, but it will take time to practice. And mindful living is basically consciously trying to get there. We all will take time to get there, but how can we really take time to become aware of where we are? So I'll run by a simple example of a software professional. Like, I started as a software engineer, right? So as a software engineer, when you start your day, when you are about right now, we are not stepping in the office, but let's say at a time when you were actually stepping in the office. So you had a travel time, and you traveled, you made a travel to maybe 30 minutes. You sat in the bus, maybe there was traffic on the way, and you were about to step in into the workplace. Now, there's so much that has happened for you to get to the workplace. So when you get into the workplace, what is your mindset as you start? Are you really complaining about, oh my God, the travel was too much, and I don't know, it's just, it makes me so angry, or I'm pissed off? Is that what you're thinking when you're stepping into the workplace? Or are you already pressurized about what's going to happen? Like, I was supposed to deliver something, I did not deliver it, or I need to do some more work around it, something like that. What is your thought? What are your thoughts when you are about to enter? Now, when you are entering, if whenever you start your work, is now it is from work from home, so then it's work from home. So maybe it's work from home, but whenever you're starting your work, what is your intention, or what is your mindset when you're entering that work? It matters a lot. It matters more than you think that you do. Um, so how you're entering into the environment creates your environment. So if you start there, if you no matter what you're thinking, if you become aware of what you're thinking, you have the choice of consciously changing it. So if you become aware that, what, my thoughts don't feel like very productive right now, let me consciously change it and start thinking that, okay, now I'm entering the workplace, now I'm about to start my day, I'm going to give my 100%, I'm going to do what I can best do, and let's see how things unfold for me. It's as simple a practice as that now I'm here, I'm going to do what I can best do. So that completely shifts your energy. It shifts the way you show up. And I always say, note this down if you can. The way you show up is the way life shows up for you. I'll repeat. The way you show up is the way life shows up for you. It's a like a given fact. Nothing can deny it. If you show up in a frame that you are ready to give your 100% and you get ready to do the best that you can do, you will get the best opportunities. You will naturally attract it. It creates a vibe around you. The way you show up, suddenly now you are in this space where you're not complaining, where you're not worried, where you're not anxious. You're just starting and saying that I'm going to give my 100%. You suddenly start, if you see someone, you're going to smile because you're present. You're actually available to them. So when you make an eye contact, you will smile, you will wish them something, you'll talk to them, you'll make a connection, you'll proceed, you'll start your work. Maybe you see a mail. If you're already in a negative frame of mind, what meaning you make out of the mail as you read it will be very different to what meaning you make out of it when you start from a place of you know blank space, no meanings, no anxiety. When you read something, you'll say, okay, this is probably what they're trying to say. Let me try to see what I can best do about it. So, starting, as they say that, a battle well started is half won. Starting a task, starting any task, and especially the start of the day, determines how the rest of your day is going to be. So, as a software professional, as I said, that if you just enter, if you enter your workspace, if you enter your work area, if that's online, by just consciously changing your thought process to saying that I'm going to do what I can best do here. Let's see how it unfolds for me. From that point on, then when you're interacting with the team, we all of us do work in the team there. We are creating products for people. What is the software industry based on? It's based on consumerism. Somebody is consuming our services. Who are they? People. People. We are creating products for people, and people are creating products for people. So it is everything to do with people. So, what being present or what being mindful helps you is to better relate to those people, to better allow yourself to connect to them, to empathize with them, to really understand, how you can best serve to their needs. So, when you're working with a team and you are being mindful, what happens is you are able to read better cues. If you see that something's making someone angry, you know that you need to, how you need to manage your behavior around that to not create a scene. For example, if you need to present something to someone, you will know exactly what is the right time to bring up that point when you're mindful. When you're lost, when usually we are lost in our own thoughts, which happens most of the times that we are in our own world, what we care about is, what works for me more than, what is more productive. We're not thinking like that. Naturally, the way our thought process would be is that, I'm assuming that's, and it's not so for everyone, but naturally in it, it's like, I need to say this out right now, I need to get this out of my mind, or I need to get this out of my heart, or I need to express this. It's all more I centric than it's we centric. But when you allow yourself to be present, when you allow yourself to be mindful, it suddenly makes you connect to everyone and your surrounding in a better way. So it becomes more of a we centric approach. It becomes more of what serves my team best, what serves me in getting a better result than, what serves me individually, which just changes again. Your attitude talks about, your attitude, again, mindset is an attitude, I would say. So your attitude speaks more than your actual actions. So if your intent, if someone even says that intent, sees that intent in you, that you're trying to achieve the best for the team, that goes a long way for you. Ultimately it's going to benefit you. And how I'm saying all of this is, as I look back to my career, I always thought, I'm going to share a little bit of a story here. I always thought that I'm not as good a programmer. That was a self limiting belief. And I mean, I don't have any cues. Nobody else said that to me ever. But I made that belief about myself. It was my mindset. I never believed I'm a good programmer because of some fear that I held on. I believed in that I knew the concepts well, and I'm able to understand the needs of my customers or the clients, but I didn't believe that I have the software solutions. So I always had this fear in me. Yet I was aware that I have other skills. Now, I was not consciously doing it, but I was living mindfully, unknowingly. It just happened to be so for me that, I now analyze it that that's how I lived. And it mainly became, I'll again give you a little bit of a story before that, how it all started. I always thought that, I have a privileged life, I have a blessed life. And I believe that people around me, they were going through certain situations and certain traumas in life. And I thought that, they are the real heroes. They are facing a difficult situation and they are able to get through it, and they're achieving so much, past it, all through the difficult situation. So they are the real heroes. So I got into the habit of actively listening. I didn't have the intent of sharing or speaking, because I thought I have nothing to share. My life is good. What do I share about? So I got in the habit of actively listening to people. And when I started actively listening to people, I realized, without me knowing intentionally, consciously, I had started to become more present, because all I would do is to just get very curious and just listen to people, what they're saying, what they're trying to tell me, and only speak when asked to, when I'm asked a certain question. That's the only time I'd respond or ask something. Or probably I'll have much more follow up questions to gather more information. So I got into the habit of actively listening and being present based on, the kind of experiences I had in life before I got to my career. So that quality stayed with me. So when I got my job, whether I knew it or not, I had that already had that habit of actively listening. So I was actively listening to what my managers had to say, what my team members had to say. And there was this need to, in me, to serve, to fulfill the needs, to fulfill the expectations that are there from me, because I wanted to be a good employee. I wanted to my team to succeed. So naturally, being able to actively listen to them, being present, communicating in a way which was clear, and not in a, not, I didn't have the need to be understood as much as I had the need to understand. So I really wanted to understand others more than, uh, getting them to understand. You have to understand my point of view. So all of these, they serve me more than my actual core technical skills. So where I really felt that I lagged, I was convinced that I'm not good in programming, but I was offered an on-site position in about 1.5 years of joining HSBC, and it was purely because I was able to display other traits in which they thought that I'll be able to cater to the customer needs better. I'll probably be able to interact with them and gather the requirements in a much better way. So what I'm trying to tell you by this story is that, there's one aspect of technology and our technical skills which we all need to build, and which we all need. Definitely we all need that. I mean, this session will not proceed. This is on the assumption that we do, all of you do have your core technical skills in place. And if not, if like you are somewhat like me, who thinks that you're not good enough in your technology, then we need to apply ourselves and work towards it. Yet at the same time, the soft skills, of course there's soft skills, and there's public speaking, there's presentations, there's interacting with people. All of that, of course, that also needs work. But I'm going a step further before that, even developing the soft skill. What I'm saying is that if you just become mindful of where you are in your entire day, whatever activity that you do, how mindfully you proceed in doing those activities. It could be as simple as replying to an email. How intently have you read that email? Because we all tend to make meanings. We all have such different perspectives based on our own conditioning, how our mindset is, how our attitude at that point of time is, how our mood at that point of time is. We might be reading the same text. If I give it to you, if I'm reading it, if Omkar is reading it, maybe we'll say different things about it. So we all make meanings based on our perspectives. Now, if you're mindful, you have a higher chance of being open, like being open to possibilities and being open to reading it in a, not in a very fixed mindset, but in an open growth mindset. So you'll probably not pick nitty gritties about it. Probably you'll not feel that somebody's trying to offend you or pick on you or blame you, something. Maybe that mail reads that, this task is not done. Following task was expected to be completed. If not in a good mood, I'll feel that they're accusing me, right? I might feel that, why did the manager have to pick words like that? What does he mean? He's trying to accuse me of not doing the work. That is one way of looking at it. If I am just being, if I've started the day on the right foot, on the right note, I'd probably look at the mail and say, okay, so this task was important to the team. Maybe there's some more work that needs to be done there. Let me go and check what can we do to do this better? What can we do? How can I help to get this achieved better? So it just completely shifts the way you look at your tasks. It completely shifts the way you interact with your clients, with your team members. And because of the way you've approached the task, the quality of the work also affects. If you are in a different state of mind, in a sad state of mind, or in a low self-esteem state of mind, if you reply to an email, or if you reply to a comment, it's probably going to be self-accuse. There will be probably a lot of self-accusation there. There'll be probably you putting down or downplaying yourself. But when you are just present, and when you are completely aware about what is it that you bring to the table, you put yourself in the best possible way, not in a bragging way, but in the best possible way. There's a higher chance of you responding to the task in a better way, and thus producing a better quality work. Now, once and this is all these are little things, like really small, consistent things that bring, before you realize, you see like big results coming out of it. As they say, you once you start forming habits, little habits in your day-to-day life, they'll show up in manifolds. The results will be in, you'll receive abundance in manifolds, and it's all because of some small shift that you've made in your life. So all that I'm requesting all of you is to become really intentional whenever you start your day, starting it on a note in a way that it's going to be productive for you. Why should we stand in our own way? Why should we stand in our own way of success? All of us are meant for success. There's nobody in this world who's meant to be a failure. There is nothing called failure anyway. It's all a feedback. But all of us are meant to be successful. And we get in the way by all the thoughts that we have at all the time. So why not just be in the present and experience what is it, so that we can keep moving towards our goal in a better way, is what I'm trying to bring to your notice. That's my simple message for you. Now, what are the benefits that you get out of it? Or, how simply it shifts the state of your mind. I'll just walk you through a little bit of a few points. So when you're mindful, if you practice mindful living, that is just becoming aware, you become better aware of yourself. You know that what is it that you offer, what is it that you have. Okay, you feel that you need to work on something, which is good. It's again self-awareness, but not being critical about it, not trying to judge yourself about it, but just knowing that, okay, maybe coding takes a little bit more of a hard work for me, but I'm good in talking, or I'm good in expressing myself, in communicating. I'm good in empathizing. I'm good in connecting with people. I'm good in providing solutions, creative solutions. So once you become aware of yourself, being mindful allows you to be more present, because now you know what is it. You're not in your head thinking, oh my God, what is going to happen? But you are grounded, and you know exactly what is it that you have to offer, and what skills can you bring right there, and allow yourself to bring those skills in that moment. So there's self-awareness that you gain out of it. Once The second most important thing is, it helps you showcase your most confident self. Again, it is a direct result of becoming self-aware. Once you have that awareness, you have confidence in what you can do, and you have confidence in expressing what is it that you can't do, which is also very important. There's nothing wrong, there's no weakness in saying that, I cannot achieve this task right away, I'll need some help around it. That needs confidence in expressing yourself. So when you are in that state, when you're actually present, there is no shame in that instance. You allow yourself, you give yourself the permission to say that what is it that you can do and what you need help with. So it helps you become more confident. It helps you become more grateful in life. Again, when you're mindful, when you're actually there, you know where you've already come, you know how much you've already achieved in your life. There would be so many other instances where things could have gone wrong, where people have don't even have the luck that you have. They've not even achieved what you've achieved. So it brings in that sentiment of gratitude in you, that you are here in this moment, you are experiencing this, and it'll just create beautiful possibilities for you out of it. So it brings in gratitude, and gratitude directly brings in connection, because when you feel grateful towards anything or any environment or any person, you directly feel connected to them. And when you feel connected to them, there's automatically the feeling of love. There's automatically the feeling of service. So you want to, when you feel connected to something, you want to serve them in the best possible way. You want to bring out the best of you, and you want to bring out the best in them. So ultimately you want to bring the best outcome, which is what any organization needs, which is what any team needs, which is what the world needs. We all want to work together to bring the best out of each other. So you bring the best, and all of this that I just mentioned, ultimately, all of this ultimately brings growth for you and growth for whoever you're serving. So it takes you towards success. There is no other way. I'll not. There's no single person who'll tell you that being mindful led them towards failure. It's something that's always going to lead you towards your success. As simple as that. That's a simple success formula. I mean, why would you not do something which is definitely ensuring success in your life? And not just success, it's actually bringing fulfillment, it's bringing joy, it's bringing peace, it's bringing gratitude. Some things that, so many people grow old and they still feel restlessness and anxiety in their life. um, when we are so blessed to feel that solution and have that solution available to us, thanks to technology and thanks to all, the self awareness and the personal development, the work in the personal development space, that we have that awareness now, why shouldn't we start practicing it to achieve better results in our career? These are not separate things. Believe me, these are not two different lines of work. It's not that I'm doing this for my personal well-being and I'm doing this for my career. No, if you do this work for yourself, you're going to show up in a much better way in your career. You're going to have like an open mindset. You're going to probably learn more skills, develop more skills, become aware of what is it that you have, hone those skills, showcase those skills, become more creative in expressing yourself. All of this ultimately starts showing results in your career, in your career success, in your career acceleration, and in your career growth. So all in all, I know, it's already time. All in all, that I like to say is that, the more you become aware of yourself, the more you allow yourself to be mindful, the more success you create in your life. So I wish you all the best, to exploring this journey. Be open to that fact. And it's simple. It's very simple. As I said, just becoming aware. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of who you are. Become aware of where you're going and what you want in life from yourself. And just be in the moment. Just be. That's all I have for you all. If there are any questions, please do let me know.
Yeah, Vandana, ma'am. To be honest, it was kind of a motivating session and also like guiding the students towards mindful living. So yeah, so I searched about mindful living, but like to get to know from your perspective, like you had experience, you have explained it to a lot of other people, you have pitched this idea of yours, like how mindful living plays an important role in whichever role you are. Okay, be it software developer role, be it running a startup. If you are not like good at mindful living, if you are not recognizing what your passion is and what you want to do in life, you would never succeed because you are like looking over to other people's expectations. You are not looking inside you are far more better than what you are. Okay, you are underestimating yourself each and every point of time. And thank you so much for this session. Like I to be honest, it really affected me. It really gave me a lot of insights about how I can implement it in whatever things I'm doing. Just like I'm doing this startup, or I'm working somewhere else as an employee. So it overall covered all the concepts which like anyone needs to know when he's entering into the industry. Okay, so thank you so much for that, and we'll wait for questions, guys. If you have any questions, you can comment in the live chat. So yeah, so what my question is, I wanted to ask you, like before starting MindArt,
Mhm,
you were working for a lot of software companies, but
mhm.
what gave you that thought to, like, what incident happened in your life that made you like think like I should have such a organization called MindArt and I should help a lot of students because I am what I'm good at, and you discovered yourself. Like, when did you
Yeah.
find out?
Yeah, thank you for
In
that
which year?
amazing question. Thank you so much, Omkar, and your previous, what you mentioned, what you shared about your experience while you were listening through. Yeah, I mean, I really respect your views, and I say that just allow yourself. Most of us think that when we talk about meditation and mindfulness or yoga or any art, any form of wellness exercise, it looks like it is a big task to be done. And all that I wanted to do from this session today is to explain it to you all that it's as simple as breathing. It's as simple as that. It once you get into the habit of it, you don't even know that it's happening. So just have to consciously start at some point of time, and it's really simple. We don't have to make it look like it's a big task, and oh my god, I need to do a lot of research, and what if I go wrong, what if something else happens. And whenever we think this, whenever there's fear, there's procrastination. There's probably the you won't, there's a higher chance that you won't actually do it. So my intent today was just to make it sound so simple and so effective that you actually start doing it. So I hope that works for most of you. Now, to come to your question, when did it actually start for me? I took a break in 2016. No, I took a break. It was a conscious decision. I always knew that whenever I'll have a baby, I want to spend time with my little one. And it was a tough decision because I was in the US. I was on a work visa. So you all would know now that getting a work visa, US work visa, is really difficult. So I was on H1B work visa, and to surrender that and shift on a dependent visa was a big ask. And so it took a lot of courage within me to go ahead and say that I want to surrender my visa and I want to take a break, career break. And I had no idea when I'll be able to go back. It could have been a year. I might get a job again. I might not get a job. So it was actually taking a back step in my career. But it was an easy decision for me, actually, because I was very convinced that I want to do this. I want to spend time with my little one and have that initial bonding period. So actually, it was during this time that I, consciously understood the meaning of living mindfully. Because when I took a break, I thought this is my finally my time for myself, because I had immediately started working after my engineering. There was no gap at all. Like, I finished in July and I joined in August immediately. So I started working, and for 10 years I had worked non-stop. So when I took a break, I thought finally this is the time for me. And I had a very different perception of the break. But of course, that time was not for me. It was more for the kid. I mean, the kid needed all the attention, and we were in the US, so we didn't have like as much of a support of the family and friends around as much as you have back in India, or wherever your nation is. So um, I had a very different perspective, and I had to get past the things that I was holding on to to really live in peace, because I was facing a lot of restlessness and anxiety. I suddenly was now the housewife, and I wanted to become the best housewife because I thought this is my only chance. So, I wanted to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, all while managing a baby, and to be basically taking responsibility. The home should be spick and span. So I had created so much of pressure on myself. Nobody else was expecting this from me. It was all me who had created the pressure on me, that it create it added a lot of stress in my life. And I had nowhere else to go. So I was just looking deep inside within me, that what is it that I'll have to let go of to gain peace, to finally be at ease. So I realized that, I was, without me consciously doing it, I was trying to control everything. I wanted it to work the way I wanted it to work. So I realized that I'll have to let go of. I have to surrender. I have to just give up. I have to just be and allow things to unfold. That is the time when I consciously understood what it means when people say that let go. Before that, all things were very naturally, but this is the time when I realized that I had to actually work on letting things go. And I decided that I am not going to try and control things in my life. I'm just going to observe and see what I can learn from it. So I actually reversed the roles. I decided that instead of me trying to control the little one and trying to, not make, so that he doesn't make mess and stuff, I thought, let me become curious and see what is he trying to do and how is he looking at the world. What is he doing, around to learn things. And while I was doing all of that, this is the best part about mindfulness, is when you're just being mindful, you don't even know how your subconscious is changing, and how you start analyzing many different things differently. Your perspective shifts completely. Although you are focusing on being mindful in your day to day life, suddenly you start knowing, analyzing that you are becoming self aware. It wasn't a conscious, I wasn't doing any conscious work, but I started analyzing things about what I like. What is it that I'm good with? What is it that I can contribute to the world better? So becoming mindful helped me become more self aware. So it was during this time that I realized that I have the skills of active listening, that I have like this skill of empathizing. I have an intense need to connect, as well as I have the capability to connect. So then I thought that if I have all of these skills, how can I put them to use in a way, in a way that I serve people in much more, like a bigger way than what I did as a software professional. So I was good, even in my software role, I was mostly put into conflict situations, on a very like a red zone projects, because there was always fight between the client and the teams, and they wanted someone to bring in the calm and like tell everyone that it's going to be okay, we are going to work through this together, and we'll find solutions together. And those were the kind of projects I was always put into. So I was able to reflect and see that why was I always chosen for such kind of projects? What is it that I brought in? How was it that the way I interacted with? And so I was able to trace back and see the qualities that I really do have, which I'm more passionate about than my software engineering skills. So I realized that I have this, first of all, had this need to contribute directly, to work with people and bring the best in themselves, because I figured that it is possible. You have the ability to find out what's best for you. So when I found it, I realized that I want to work with people, and coaching, just again, becoming mindful, as I say, it helps, it works wonders. So I just bumped into someone who uh, you know who who was a coach. Till that point in time, I had no idea about the coaching industry. I had no idea that you could learn to become a coach. I always thought that you have to grow to become a coach, like you have to gain a certain years of experience and then you start sharing and all of that. But I bumped into this person by chance, and we connected really well. I got really curious about her, so I searched a little bit about her, and I got to know that she has done certain courses, and then I started analyzing around those courses, and that's how I got introduced to coaching industry. And I realized, oh my God, this is exactly what I want to do. I bring in the skills. I naturally have the skills. I'm aligned to this work, and this is what I'd like to pursue. So I used to joke always that I'll probably never, I'll not die till I do my MBA. That's what I used to joke about, that I'll do my MBA at some point in time. But once I discovered coaching, I instantly knew that this is what I want to pursue. So we were moving to Australia at that point in time. So we moved to Australia, and I immediately, committed myself to a 3-year long coaching course. I wanted to really apply myself to it and learn all the ways about it. So I went in depth, and I'm taking it like like a post graduation, and I'm loving every bit of it. So yeah, it was mindful
Yeah.
living which actually introduced me to my true skills.
Yes, yes, that's definitely inspirational, ma'am, and thanks for sharing that. Like that 5-10 minutes of your journey which you shared on this platform, it would definitely help out a lot of students, or maybe who are, a lot of people who are trying to get into the coaching industry, or maybe who are trying to master mindful living. So thanks for doing that, and I completely agree with you. We all play this mind games with our mind. Okay, so in the initial stages of my like engineering as well. In the first year, I was kind of very much confused about what I need to do in life. Okay, as a fresher, I was very much like I was trying out new things. I was experimenting with my life. But once in the second year, when I started my own startup, my venture, and then I started like when I took the first step towards student entrepreneurship, it gave me that inner sign that it is what I want to do. Okay, I'll do like what you can say, work for companies in future if I want to. But if I am given to choose this as my full-time profession, like to
Mm,
choose entrepreneurship, I would definitely do it, because just like you shared, you like interacting with a lot of people. Even I like to interact with a lot of people. To be honest, I was not so good at English. I was not good at communication. I was kind of an introvert, to be honest. But these 2 years of span gave me, like, self-learning has played an important role in my life. Whatever I have learned up till now, I have done it by myself. Nobody was there to help me out. Nobody was there to like guide me towards like these are the steps. I had to
Mm.
like I had referred to a lot of sources on YouTube and stuff like that. But the important thing which I learned all out of it is like following your passion would give you that real happiness which you need, and you will do it every day with the same motivation because you love doing it. Okay, so you'll not feel bored any day. Even if you are not achieving things at the moment, you should keep doing it because someone said consistency is the key. If you are not consistent, you will never be successful. So you need to be consistent. And thanks for that insightful information and the journey you shared and the points you gave in this webinar. It would definitely help out the people who are watching this live session, like right now, who are watching us. It would definitely help them out. But after this session is ended, it is going to be posted. It would definitely help out those people as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah. So one more question. You talk about your little one. Like, can I know what his name is?
Yeah, his name is Vian.
Okay, Vihan. So
Yeah.
I want to ask you, like, how did Vihan, like Vihan's movements, or like, did his movements taught you some of the principles about mindful living, like observing him? Okay, did that
Mm.
help you out somewhere, like in your
Oh.
journey, like giving you some principles like of mindful living? Did it help you out?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I mean, I cannot, and it continues to do so. So thank you again for that, wonderful summary. And this question, how Vian's, he's my teacher. I say that all the time. Like I'm reliving my childhood because when I was a child, I don't remember. None of us remember in those early years of life that how curious we were about the world. So with him, what I analyzed, mostly was that I'm a girl and he's a boy, right? So automatically I had this whole view of the world that I had. Like I'd expect him to sit at one place. That's what my mom used to tell me, that I would, if I would get instructions, I'd do that. I'll just follow those instructions as a kid, as an infant. And I would expect the same from Vian. I would just expect him to follow my instructions, to not make a mess if I don't ask him to make a mess, or not allow him to make a mess, to look at the world the way I was looking at the world is what, or trying to teach him to look at the world the way I was looking at it was my initial approach. Now I soon realized that it's not working out and it's affecting me big time. I'm just getting crazy around all of this. So I realized that let me start looking at what is he trying to do. So the principles of mindful living, as you said, I finally gave up, and I surrendered and I said, I'm just going to follow him, whatever he's doing. So I would see what he's doing, when I just not give him any inputs, just give him that environment. Like if he's going for, say, toys in the kitchen, like your real utensils in the kitchen, I would just give them, and of course I have to ensure the safety. So I'll just give it to him and try and see what is he trying to do, instead of me telling him that make a sound out of it or do something. I'd just give it to him and keep observing him, that what is he trying to do. So through him, what I realize is that there are no boundaries to what we can, to possibilities. The way we think, because of our conditioning and because of what we have learned from experiences, the way we think, we are actually in a box, whether we believe it or not. But a child, not just Vian, anyone for that matter, a child brings that in front of you, that there are, those are all creations of our own mind. If when we observe them, we see that they're so curious. There is no right or wrong for them. There is no expectation that this is how it's going to be, that the water will flow in this direction, that things might get dirty or something will get wet. So I had started observing what he was doing out of curiosity, that what must he be thinking. And that itself completely shifted my view of not looking at things in, I'd always stop myself. If I look at something and I pass a judgment, I'll stop myself and say, that's my view of the world. What other ways there could be? And I'd become curious about that. What other ways there could be of doing this thing? Am I thinking, am I limiting myself, or is this taking me forward? So it helped me start questioning the way I look at the world. And I believe that the way it has worked wonders for me and continues to work is that it has just opened me, I'd say further enhanced my perspective. So it's opened me to much, much, many more possibilities.
Yeah. Thanks for answering that question, ma'am. And like one last question, I guess if anyone has any questions, they can ask. But if
Sure.
you don't have any questions, you can comment in the live chat, or maybe you can reach out to Vandana, ma'am. The link to her LinkedIn profile is in the description, so do check it out. Do reach out to her if you're watching this. If you're not watching it live, if you're watching it after that, so please do check out her profile. Do reach out to her. Do interact with her. She might help you in some way or other, so please do check it out. So my question is, this is going to be the last question, okay? And after that,
Yeah.
I'm going to give a Thanksgiving speech to everyone who is listening to me, and then we'll end. Okay. So my question is, so in your career journey up till now, okay, the
Mhm.
point you started, the point
Mhm.
you got into a tech field, okay, the pressure you've been feeling throughout your tech journey, okay, like handling clients and stuff like that. Do you
Mhm.
feel the same pressure here when you are a mindset coach, or you are open, like you work with an open mind? You don't feel
Mm.
pressurized. You already know answer to their questions. Like just
Mm.
because you took the 3 year long course, like how
Mm.
that 3 year long course helped you in mastering that skill which is needed,
Mm.
and which not a lot of other people don't have that skill. You have mastered it because like taking that 3 year long course is one thing, okay, and
Mm.
implementing that things in real life, actually working out, practicing it,
Mm.
dealing with a lot of people is other thing. Like how has that course helped you, and how do you feel right now at this point of time?
I love that question. Thank you so much, Omkar. So yeah, I mean, when I was serving the software industry, I was actually doing pretty well. I got the kind of opportunities, and I'm grateful to all the people whom I worked with and learned so much from. So to the world I was doing well, but to myself, for myself, I would always think that I wish I could have been much more creative. I wish I could have brought more solutions. So I was happy with my other skills, conflict management and handling the clients and all, but with my actual development, because till the end I was still coding. So with my developmental work, I used to feel that why don't I go back home and research more? Why am I not curious enough? So my biggest pain point was that I felt that I wasn't enough curious. I like to be curious about things, but I thought I'm not curious about software, like the Java. I'm a Java developer, so I was not as curious about the latest inventions in the technology, like the latest frameworks. I won't go back home and practice. So I knew something was amiss, because when I see people who are passionate, they were continuously putting time in their learning and growth, and they were talking about it. It would light them up when they do something like creative, when they have a better solution to a problem, when they have effective solution, effective code to resolve a problem. So I realized that that was the time when I had started analyzing that, there's something missing. If I'm not curious, I'm not interested enough. So my hunt was that what am I more interested in? What am I more interested in? I kept asking, whenever I'll pray, I'll always say that, if only I knew what is it that aligns with my being, I'll be able to serve so much better. Like I'll be able to do so much better. I'll be unstoppable. That's what I used to keep saying. So when I finally found coaching, eventually years later, and I'll say to anyone who doesn't know their passion, I'll say it's okay. Don't pressurize yourself to know it right away. Just keep doing what you have in front of you. Give your 100%. Give your complete, apply yourself completely to what you have. Don't run away from something. I'll always say that don't run away because you're afraid of something, but move towards something you love. So until till the point you find something that you really love, like you're passionate about, um, don't run away from something. Don't run away from your responsibilities. So take care of your responsibilities, because that is what is ultimately going to take you forward in your journey. So just the way, Omkar, you shared that, when you realized, when you started your student entrepreneurship, or your own, your own initiatives, you figure that you really like it, you really feel connected to it, makes you alive. So that when you feel that aliveness in you, that is your mission, that becomes your bigger passion. And or what would I say, mission. And when you have the clear why, why you're doing it, why it is important to you, automatically your commitment is higher to it, your consistency will be better, you'll show up more, show up more positively because you connect to that mission. So what happened to me with coaching was that as soon as I started learning about it more, I got to know all the models, the kind of questions to ask, how it goes into human behavior. The exercise, what the course covers is more of making you become a human behavior specialist, because you have to start analyzing, you have to see through, not just listen, but also learn the body language of the person and grasp more data in that limited amount of conversation. So you start learning about human behaviors, you start learning about their mindset, that what, how thinking affects, how beliefs affect, how your expectation from yourself, how the self talk affects you. So all of these things was so interesting to me that you'd see me, learning it and implementing it right away. I had volunteered, like I still volunteer. I'd volunteered to many places. It was not just about creating a business for me. Money is an outcome of it because I'm so passionate about it. But it was more about actually putting what I'm learning to use. So I started seeing that I'm getting so interested in learning and applying, and then learning more, becoming more curious. That gave me the ability to be more creative and take more risks. I didn't mind being wrong because I thought if I fail fast, I'll move forward faster. So I didn't mind. I had no shame of, being wrong or taking a wrong step, or failing in the models that I'm trying to implement, or creating a mediocre program, because I knew that if when I do all of this, it's eventually going to help me move faster. So I believe that when you are very clear, when when you align with the values that you have and the skills that you have, when you're very clear on what you have to offer, and you finally find what is your purpose, there is no stopping you. It's not the money that is going to stop you. It's, you just want to continue working no matter what. You just commit yourself to that cause, and I believe that is what makes abundance flow in your life. You'll get to attract, you attract the right kind of people, you get to collaborate with the right kind of people, and that gives you joy and happiness. So there's no anxiety because you don't have any pressure. Of course there are new things that you're trying to do. There's fear because I never had sales experience, I never had marketing experience. When you have your own business, you have to do all of that. So all of that is still new. It stretches me out of my comfort zone. But because you are so passionate about what you have created, you don't mind getting past those obstacles. So that's
Yeah.
where your commitment comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, very well said, ma'am, and thanks for that motivation. Kind of the answer also had some lines of motivation or some lines of advice which you gave to the audience, and thank you so much for doing that. Okay, so with this we wrap with this day 5 session, and thank you all for attending this specific event. All the 5 days, whomsoever have attended, connected with us live. Numbers doesn't matter to us. The main thing which is, did we make an impact or not? Okay, if you're watching this anytime, if even if you're watching it right now, thank you so much everyone for this commitment of attending one, day 1 to day 5, till today, and thank you so much for doing this. Okay, what is we have a comment, but I guess it's inappropriate. Let me just, yeah. So yeah, so thank you so much everyone for attending, and thank you so much Vandana ma'am for your time, for your knowledge, and for sharing your journey, which is kind of very inspirational. From a girl from Nagpur, and you are right now in Australia. That is really inspiring. The challenges which you have faced, those challenges didn't limit you. Okay, and right now you are happy, in whatever you are doing right now, running Mind Art. Okay, helping a lot of individuals. And if you are a person who wants to get successful, or maybe wants to do good in life, if you are stuck somewhere, you can reach out to Vandana ma'am. The link is in the description. You can reach out to her, you can ask her questions. Okay, and thank you so much all for your love and support. Do connect with Vandana ma'am. Also follow us on all the social media handles, and we'll be back with another such industry oriented event where we'll bring out another 5 speakers from the industry for you guys, so that you can take that first step towards becoming industry ready. And thank you all. Have a nice day and take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.